Well, hello, my beautiful Cancerians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for June 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, of course, you'll notice I'm in a different location at this present moment in time. I've just gone to visit family members for the next coming weeks, but I will be back in my usual space after that. I just thought I'd explain the new environment there for you all. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is your monthly reading for June. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are. The time really is flying on by. And of course, we've just had Saturn move into the sign of Aries, making us all sit up very straight, pay close attention to higher standards, and keep our eyes on our personal prize. Now, Saturn moving signs can give us all a pretty major wake-up call to remind us that our actions today really shape our future to come. Now, it really reinforces discipline and questions our life philosophy and belief systems, and the energy can be pretty austere. But luckily, we have my favorite planet Jupiter muscling in on the action this month to really steal the glory by offering us all a great big cosmic hug. And you're going to get the biggest hug of all, my beautiful Cancerians, because it's moving into your sign. Jupiter is in your sign and it loves to be there. This is where rewards are delivered, and it's going to be for all of your hard work and your focus. But it also offers a gateway of opportunity to better luck. Now, the planets, they change signs all the time, of course, but we have had some pretty major shifts recently, and it's been hard to catch a break. Thank goodness for June taking the edge off before things really intensify as we move into July. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves and really bask in June's pause to appreciate all that we have so far and all that is yet to come. Now, it is really challenging at this moment in time, and the pressure has been on. And sometimes, you can lose sight of all the things that you've achieved so far when you're in a flurry of activity to keep life moving forward, to continuously hit your targets and then move on to the next. But June is a month where the more you acknowledge your personal accomplishments so far, it will actually reflect and amplify to send more opportunities into your life. For we have officially moved into glorious Gemini season, the twins, mirroring and doubling down on the energy. And of course, Jupiter in Cancerian energy will expand it to offer you more. And when you step into your power during this month and know that you deserve more, the universe will deliver opportunities for more. Now, of course, we still have to focus on responsibilities, but this month reminds you to enjoy the simpler pleasures in life. Fun with your nearest and dearest, reset time in nature, nurturing good food, of course, and of course, time alone in order to connect to your higher self. Now, Jupiter's greatest influence this month will be, of course, in your personal life as it nestles into your sign, which is all about your home life, your relationships, and your emotions. Now, June is a 6th vibration month, which guides us home to self. So you'll be asking big questions like who feels like home or where feels like home to you? And do you need to redefine boundaries? You'll be all up in your feelings as you endeavor to appreciate the present moment with the people that you care about the most. But also, it encourages declarations to self on what you are not willing to accept anymore, and reinforce using that word no as a boundary of self-care. Now, June is a softer month of heartfelt connections and a desire to create a sacred space for important conversations and moments. And as we're currently in Gemini season, your extroverted side may battle that sensitive side in order to come out to shine its beautiful light. You know, the prowess of your intellect demands to be heard and seen this month, as it encourages creativity, questioning, and great debates, as well as alternative opinions. Now, the magical energy this month demands that you stay curious, explorative, adventurous, and open to the alternative. June is a major personal comeback month, as it removes stagnancy, awakens your imagination to run wild, and helps you stride towards many personal breakthroughs. A month to celebrate you and the unique spark of brilliance that you bring to your world. Now, we also have fiery Mars in Virgo, which keeps you focused on the minute details to serve your higher purpose with precision and refinement. You'll be super productive to make major improvements. And of course, the full moon will be in the sign of Sagittarius. And that's going to happen on the 11th. And let's just say that will be a little bit unpredictable, so you may encounter a major plot twist that keeps you on your toes during that time. Your spontaneous side definitely comes out to play, and you might even surprise yourself suddenly with an impromptu event or vacation or project. And as that full moon is in a fire element, we could see intermittent dips in personal energy, as well as power outages, travel related glitches too. I hate to give that message, but there we are. Okay, I'm just putting all the cards into the upright there. Oh, you got the Justice card twice. I'm not surprised, because you're in your 6th house at the beginning of the month. So you're going to be making some adjustments, doing what's right for you, but also focused on, your duties, responsibilities, things like that. But we'll get to that in a moment. I'll get your final cards. Now, I want you to be aware that it's good to pay attention from the 15th to the 19th of June, as Jupiter in your sign, it'll clash with Neptune, but also with Saturn, okay? And that could ring in a bit of a disappointment. However, that new moon on the 25th in your sign, it's all about you this month. Even though, we are in Gemini season, a lot of the planets are moving into your sign. So a very sensitive month. And this is where you really come into your own. A lot of cathartic feelings, letting go of emotions and challenging experiences, really kind of like stepping into your power. But, that new moon energy will actually try to soothe any volatile situations or any disappointments that you encounter. And it will offer better solutions than what was before. So that's actually very positive there. Now, globally, this combination of planetary alignments can see water-related events, a clash on the high seas, flooding, or even volatile underwater activity that expands land masses. Now, I did mention that in my yearlies about, seismic activity increasing, and I did talk about an underwater volcano erupting, and we've already seen things like that happening recently, but there is more to come. Now, a couple of incidents will lead to a climax, let's put it that way. And as the planets shift into your sign during Gemini season, it will also encourage people to come together to offer humanitarian aid to any crisis, okay? So, there will be a coming together energy during this month. And we'll also see a detoxification, especially when it comes to things like the additives in the food industry. There'll be conversations in and around that, as well as a major shakeup in the agricultural sector. There may be a removal of harmful chemicals that will definitely enter a discussion for change during this cycle. And, you know, the Gemini Sagittarius influence will actually encourage global activism, a desire for freedom to reinforce transparency. Major exposés, of course, will continue, especially around the mismanagement of global funds. That may even be on the table for discussion as well. But the question still remains, will we ever see change? Well, I can tell you it's a long road, but it will lead to change eventually. Now, we'll also see new technological breakthroughs emerge, especially in and around the healthcare industry, so that's really positive. And of course, we end the month with a very special solstice, opening up a gateway to personal growth, healing, and it also marks the turn of the tide, as it were, where there is that inner light and hope returning. A highly sensitive month as you listen to your heart and move forward with great purpose. So let's see what's going on with you, my beautiful Cancerians. I can see here that you are prioritizing your needs, making some adjustments. A lot of you are, you know, in your 6th house energy. So you're going to be doing, you know, daily routines, schedules, focusing on work, paying bills, you know, saving plans, budgets, all of this stuff, repayment plans, basically your responsibilities and tasks. But the Justice card can indicate that you're bringing your life back into balance in some way, that you're harmonizing your life this month. But also, you know, this can indicate a lot of you or dealing with like contracts, service providers, perhaps expiry dates on contracts, or even subscriptions, perhaps. Some of you may be also moving your money about during this time to get better deals or interest rates with different financial advisors. I mean, to get the Justice card twice, you could be looking at the legalities of the things that you connect to. So this could be you signing a new contract if you're getting a new job, for example, or for some of you, there even may be like a merge between companies if you work for a certain company. So there could be new contracts on the table. Always remember that if you're signing a new contract for a role that you've been in for quite some time, it may try to nullify anything that went before. So if you've had certain benefits or bonuses or, you know, anything that you really want to keep in the role that you are in right now, then this is a time to negotiate that better deal. So it's very important to read the fine print on any new contracts you get, especially during this month. I mean, the star energy indicates clarity and, you know, kind of like truth and honesty. So I feel there's nothing untoward here. I want you to be aware of that, but it's always good to know what you're signing, especially when it comes to any contracts, especially long-term repayment contracts as well. So if you're getting a mortgage this month, for example, or you're remortgaging, or you're actually, you know, buying like a cell phone or upgrading, and it means is a rollover contract, for example, always good to read the fine print there, especially with that Justice card. But this is a card of making some adjustments in your life. And because we have the star energy, a lot of you, because your 6th house is influencing you, this could be that you're looking at purifying energy, detoxifying, you know, cutting something out that perhaps you feel influences you in a negative way, or you've had a reaction to it, or you've become intolerant to it. So I definitely see here that there is an energy of you doing what is right for your body, mind, and soul because of that 6th house. Now, of course, this is a card of responsibility. So I'm not surprised to see the 6th house there for you. And it's not that, you know, things are not happening for you this month, because the 6th house can feel a little bit dull and boring, you know. We are just basically doing what we do day to day to keep our life running smoothly. But that's so important, because that means that, you know, you keep everything running as it should, so you can go off and have fun and build whatever it is that you're building at this time. But the Justice card, it can indicate that, you know, you are being really honest with yourself, taking accountability on some sort of project as well. You've had an idea, or there's a project here that is sitting stationary, or you've put on hold. I feel like you may make some adjustments this month to return to it or make it happen. You know, I feel like you are moving it along, making progress on it. But it's something that, looking at the energy, it will not be finished in the month of June. It feels like you're tweaking it or returning to it little by little. It feels like small steps towards something. So it's something that you're planning or working on at this time. Now, this could be a DIY project as well as a self-development project, for example, because the sixth house, it is about your body, mind, and soul, but it's also about focusing on not just your health, your diet, and being more active. It's also about your home space. So some of you could literally do some DIY during that sixth house energy, but this is about your routines. So I would say a lot of you are in a routine and keeping on top of things, keeping things harmonized, and basically it's like doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, I feel like you're multitasking and, you know, you're being in service to your needs for your life right now with that. But also I feel with Saturn and the Justice card energy, it tells me you're going to be super organized. You're going to be very goal-oriented. You're going to be making sure that you're on top of things. And if there's anything that's time-sensitive, looking at the energy, you know, I feel there could be something that's time sensitive here, but you're going to be on top of it. So whether it is a document that you need to sign or scan or send to someone, emails, phone calls, texts for some of you. I see there is a text here that you've been meaning to respond to, but you haven't done it yet. So it could be something that calls to you from time to time and you're like, oh, I'm meaning to do that. I'll get round to it. And then life gets busy and it slips your mind. I feel like in June, you're definitely going to face this head on, whatever this is. A lot of you, there is this energy of legal structures or legal documents. So this could be you looking at the terms and conditions of your lease, if you lease a property or a business, or it could be that you're looking at, you know, your contract with your landlord if you rent your property. For some of you, especially since we have the Eight of Swords there and the Strength card, this could be you looking at where you are right now and finding somewhere else that you feel is better. It could be a relocation, and you may be looking at the terms and conditions of the property that you're in. For some of you, you may decide to rent that property that you're in if it's yours, or, you know, if you're allowed to sublet a property, it could be that at this time, and you may be deciding to relocate somewhere else where you can have like a lesser rent to pay and or mortgage to pay, and it could be that, you know, one cancels out the other, because I'm seeing this energy of things canceling themselves out, because you have the Justice card twice on either side, but you also have an Eight of Swords here and an Eight of Pentacles. So this tells me something cancels itself out, but also in a really positive way where you gain from it, because the star energy is to gain or to be aligned with something that is positive for you, where there is a benefit, okay? Now also, some of you, not all of you, because you have the Justice card twice, you could be called for duty, as it were, jury service. So you may actually get a letter in the mail regarding that. Make sure you connect to your hard copy mail, because if they can't get hold of you with a hard copy mail, they will try to maybe email. There is what I see. I mean, I don't see a call there, but I feel like they will try. A lot of you with this Hangman energy, you may have to pause it or reschedule it, because you may have like a trip or something important that you have to do. So there may be a reschedule there. Of course, they're going to accommodate your needs at first, is what I see there. But they may offer you an alternative, and you may have to even ask then, well, is there an alternative to that? The second alternative they give you, it's almost like an ultimatum. That's what I see. It's like, okay, you can have this date or this date. And if you're like, well, this date really doesn't work for me, and this one is a little bit, they're going to be like, well, this is the only date that we have, and you have to take that one. We've given you leeway on the other dates. So I feel it's almost like 1, 2, 3. I'm being given 3 options, as it were, for dates, and the third one, it's like that's your final option, and you have to step up and do that one. So you may have to accommodate that with your work. Of course, there's compensation here. There's an energy of that going on. For some of you, you know, if you're traveling during this time, there may be some delays there, and I do see a compensation there as well. Or if you have some sort of parcel or goods that is delayed or lost in the postal service, I see some sort of compensation there as well, okay? This month, for some of you, seems to be a month of compensation, but it could be something that is delayed, or it could be something that has been on hold. There's an investigation energy here, so I feel once that's been investigated, then things start moving, because that Eight of Swords can indicate something comes to a halt or a pause whilst it is investigated with that Justice energy. And then once the truth, because new knowledge is delivered there with that Hangman energy, there is a bit of a pause, and then the Star is like, oh, you know what, my beautiful Cancerians, you're correct, and then everything is adjusted and you get the desired outcome that you're hoping for. For some of you, you know, if you're going through a divorce at this time, firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. I can see that there's a lot of healing going on. A lot of you are questioning, like, where does the love go? It's like the end of an era, and it's hard, even though people are complex and they fall out of love with each other, or they do not hold themselves to high regard sometimes. I do see here that the Justice card, you're going into the month of June saying, I want justice, I just want things to be fair. And the Justice card, as an outcome, indicates things will be fair. The Eight of Pentacles indicates that you may have to fight for it, though, or you may have to be very diligent about how people hold themselves to account and be honest. As long as you lead with integrity, I feel like you will, get the truth of a situation and things will be fair. That's what's coming out there as well. But also, removing it and being more kind of connected to the ether of the energy that's available to you, I feel like you've got some really good karma coming towards you, because the Eight of Pentacles, you've been working really hard on something here and things are starting to shape up. A lot of you also need to bring balance to your situation, because this particular Justice card, whilst I love this card, it is number 8. Now, the Justice card used to be number 8 in the major arcana cards, but if you know the history of Tarot, of course, it was shifted to number 11. The Strength card, they swapped the numbers there. So 8 is the number of the self. So a lot of you are prioritizing your own needs this month. Of course, I want to wish all those late June Cancerians a wonderful happy birthday. I hope you had the most magical time indeed. And of course, anyone who has their birthday in July, I hope you have the same. But this could be that this month it is all about you, and that you're prioritizing yourself in a way where you may treat yourself, or you're looking forward to something this month. You are literally the star of the month as we move into your season at the end of June. But the Eight of Swords, this is your protagonist energy. So this can indicate that, you felt a little bit stuck in a rut, or you felt a little bit worried about something recently, and you may have been asking for something or investigating something. The truth will out, okay? For some of you, this could be that you're needing some new knowledge on a situation, or you've been trying to structure something legally. So this could be a move abroad. It could be, structuring a business. It could be that you're looking into consumer rights at this time, or you're trying to apply for a permit, or you're trying to educate yourself on something. Maybe some of you are actually in, a course of learning higher education regarding the law, for example, because you have 2 law cards there. So this can indicate, that this is a period where you are so focused on something that you haven't had time for anything else, because that Eight of Pentacles can indicate that, when we are interested in something, or we need to find information on something, we become obsessed. It's almost like tunnel vision. Nothing else exists. So I feel June is a month where you kind of come up for air a little bit and have a little bit more balance, be a little bit more sociable. Now, of course, because we have the Justice card and it is a Libran energy, it indicates balance and harmony, and your 6th house is about harmonizing your life. It's basically keeping your life running smoothly, focusing on your health, focusing on your home space as your sanctuary. You may do some decluttering, DIY during this period, but your 1st house takes over from that, and that is all about the self, okay? That's why you've got so many 8s in your reading. Eight of Swords, this can indicate that you may be looking at life, your legacy, as it were, and how far you've come on your journey. And, your 1st house will be all about your identity. And there may be some aesthetics that you change during this month. And what I mean by that, I don't normally talk about aesthetics, but the 1st house is about how you feel about yourself. So it could be that you treat yourself to new items in your wardrobe, more flamboyant clothes. Some of you may actually decide to change a look or a style, or your hair color, or, really pamper yourself in some way. But also, it's more than that. This is about, beginning or looking at your life philosophy. And if you've been feeling stuck, some of you may be learning about lifestyle practices in different areas, relocating, or deciding to do something new. This could be a new hobby. This could be something that you've been thinking about doing for some time that really connects to your higher self, developing your spiritual gifts or your knowledge on something. The Hangman puts himself on the tree of life. So a lot of you could be putting yourself into some sort of higher education at this time. And a lot of you, this could be learning about self. Okay, it could be you doing some meditating or some mindfulness, and it could be things from your past come up because, as we move into your birthday season, it's all about your legacy, the path that you've taken so far. And if there's anything that you're not happy with in your life right now, you're making some changes and adjustments with those Justice card energies, and the Eight of Swords can indicate, you're nervous about change, but ultimately you're freeing yourself up from something. It says here, imprisonment, entrapment, and victimization. Okay, Eight of Swords can be the fear in the mind. Swords are all about the mind and the thoughts. So some of you may be bringing your worries into review at this time. It could be that, you're looking at the things that you do worry about and how they keep you rooted to the spot. And on the other side of fear, as you move out of your comfort zone, I feel there's a lot of success. I mean, a lot of you could be offered a new contract for a new role during this month, for a promotion, for example. And, change is wonderful, but also it can be daunting. You may be stepping into a new era in your career, and suddenly you start to doubt yourself or wonder if you've got what it takes, but absolutely you do. Even more than the people around you. The star energy indicates that you're someone who is destined for success. You're in the spotlight for some sort of reward or acknowledgement this month. And sometimes we can be nervous of success itself because it changes things. It also has the capacity to change people. Whenever you hear stories about people who win the lottery, for example, everything changes. People change the way that they deal with them as well. Their friends change around them. Their family changes around them. There's this sense of entitlement that comes sometimes from people just by being associated. So it could be like if, you're changing your status or you're changing, and upgrading your life in some way, people around you may look at you differently. Even though they still love you, sometimes there is an expectation. If you're leveling up, there may be an expectation that you're going to bring them with you. And of course, you would want to do that. But at the same time, it could put extra pressure on you. And you may notice that people and the dynamics shift or change. If you're offered something in a career, if you're offered a promotion and now the people who are on the same level as you are in a commanding role where they are answering to you, you're the boss or you're managing them, of course, they will look at you differently and now they will adjust their behavior differently. So there's some sort of adjustment here that you may be worried about, whether it's a location change or for some of you, there may have been something shifting within you at this time and you're worried about it. And it can be that you're going to some sort of governing body or you're going to a practitioner, someone who is qualified to investigate something further. And it can be that, when you get the answers or the information you seek, because there's new knowledge there, then there will be healing. For example, some of you may have some sort of procedure or operation during this time that has been booked. And the star energy can indicate convalescing, aligning with a healing practice so that you can rest up and get back to best. The Eight of Pentacles indicates you will get back to best. This is about you honoring your energy and doing what is right for you, but it can be that you have to commit to a healing path. And a lot of you are doing that this month, body, mind, and soul, because of that sixth house, okay? Now, of course, the first house can make you really do a lot of soul searching about your place in the world. So I'm not surprised to see the Eight of Swords, which literally can mean an energy of limitation. Doesn't always have to indicate, imprisonment. For example, we have the Justice card there as well. For some of you, if you're dealing with a very challenging court case and someone has been doing something really negative and you're wanting justice for this, there could be, a victory, because the star energy claims victory there, and it could be that someone is imprisoned for something, for example, just because it's on this card. It can be that justice is done for something finally, and now you can, adjust to a life knowing that. And of course, that's not going to resonate with all of you, but I just get this energy because you have 2 law cards here. I can indicate that, of course, some of you may be dealing with authoritative figures, for example. I mean, some of you there as well. I would say if you've been given like a fine for parking in a wrong bay or incorrectly, or a speeding fine, for example, with the Hangman there and the Page of Pentacles with the Six of Pentacles, I would just say that, looking at the energy, if you feel like you're in the right, contest it, but the longer you leave it, of course, the fine will increase. Okay, now the star energy can indicate with the Justice card that if you feel like you're in the right, for example, but you contest it, at first you may be met with some sort of friction. Okay, and they will try to push back. But, if you've got evidence that you're in the right, I would say you're going to win this. Okay, because the star energy is, really positive outcome. Justice shall be served, but the information, the truth will come to light. And the 8 of Pentacles indicates you have to be diligent with this. You can fight this, but of course, get all the facts and document things there as well. But the 8 of Swords, I would say, don't bury your head in the sand and ignore it, because it will not go away. It will actually increase. So that's something that's coming out there as well. Now, of course, we do have the Strength card. So a lot of you are leading with passion this month, but ultimately there's a lot of self-care rituals that are being implemented. You're a very strong person and you have the strength to change a situation, but it may require new knowledge. So for example, if you are a business owner, it could be there's been a bit of a lull in your business recently, but you have the strength to look into like new information and, maybe even make some adjustments, because you're a very talented person, very gifted person. It can be a new idea that you've been sitting on for some time. You may launch it in the month of June and actually see that it increases your finances, because a lot of you are going from the 6 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles. So this tells me that not only are you being stricter with your finances, because the Justice card can indicate that you are being really honest with yourself, holding yourself to account, taking responsibility for a financial structure there. So it can indicate there that you are pooling your resources and saving for a large purchase. A lot of you, this could be real estate or a car, for example, but I feel like, you are diligent this month and you are, adhering to your needs and you're being stricter with yourself, okay? It says here, courage, inner strength, and conviction. So a lot of cards here indicating that you're doing what is right for you and, you're locked onto your goals, and there's a lot of success here. That star energy indicates a win coming in, but also it can indicate that, you've had an idea that perhaps bubbling up for some time that you will action in the month of June there. The first part of June, it feels like you're strategizing or sitting with something, wrestling with something in your mind, and then having the courage to overcome fear, because these 2 cards are having the courage to face something head on that perhaps makes you feel worried, okay? But actually, I see the outcome is the best thing that could have happened. It just feels like there's a really positive outcome here. You can make some adjustments, and I feel everything will turn out right in the end, is what I'm seeing there. And the 8 of Pentacles indicates that you're self-made, or that you committed to something, you dedicated yourself to a routine. So whatever the outcome is, it could be that you have to adhere to a certain routine or a certain structure to be on track with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Now, the Hangman in the resistance position, it can indicate there have been some delays, or perhaps you've been putting something off, but this is the month to really face it head on. And a lot of you are exhausted. I'm actually seeing an image in the water right now of someone getting a massage, okay? Really like, it's almost like ironing out a knot in the shoulder. So if you've been under a lot of stress or pressure recently, I feel taking good quality rest is important. But some of you are having a bit of a getaway during this month, and this will really help you relax. Some of you may literally book a massage as a treat to yourself. But also some of you may be trying to get a qualification as a masseuse, or perhaps you're going into some sort of holistic practice and you want to earn your money that way. For example, this is a great month to really start that, launch that, or move into that sector is what I'm seeing. But ultimately what I see is something you're worried about or something that's been stressing you out. I feel like you're bringing your worries into perspective and facing something head on, and it just feels like you're going to look at it like, I wish I'd faced it sooner. Because, if there's something anyone is ever worried about, if you can do something about it, then set things in motion for change. But if you can't do anything about it, sometimes we must acknowledge that fear will rob us of joy. And if we cannot do anything about it physically in that moment, we must, acknowledge that what will be, will be. And the universe supports you here in a really positive way. So it looks like it's going to be a positive outcome, okay? Now, of course, the Hangman energy can be an energy here of like something turned your world upside down and you're just trying to recalibrate in some way. June is a month for that balance. Some of you, this could be legalities, or perhaps it's tax time. Perhaps there's some sort of structure or legality that you need to adhere to during this period. Rules, regulations, documents, there could be changes that you need to make some adjustments with, but in time, because the Hangman energy is, in time, things will correct themselves or will be, upright again, as it were. So for example, if you are dealing with neighbors who are doing some reconstruction work, it could be that, for a certain time period, there is a little bit of noise or intrusion of peace, as it were, but eventually it will filter out and everything will be back to normal again. So, please apply it to your situation. I just feel like something got changed or turned upside down, or some of you with that Eight of Swords and the Hangman may have been feeling a little bit I don't want to say disassociated, because I feel a lot of you're in a protective measure at this time. You could be healing from something, whether it's an unwellness or whether it is, a relationship that has broken down. This could be a friendship, could be an argument in some way. It feels like you're giving something a breath to really take stock of things and work something out in your head before you do it or launch it, okay? Or heal it even for some of you. I feel with this Hangman energy, there is this kind of like in limbo kind of energy there. And I feel that some of you are working something out before you take the necessary steps. And because we have a Page of Pentacles, some of you may be contemplating a new path or a restart in something, but you're not starting from scratch. You're actually starting from experience is what I see there. But we've got that Page of Pentacles, and this is an energy of ambition, of starting something, being hungry for something. For some of you, it could be that you're applying for something, because this can be an application card. So if you've applied for something and there's been a delay, whether it is for a visa, passport, or a permit in some way, or even, some sort of certification for you to build or extend your property, for example, the delay could have worried you that perhaps it's not going to happen or it's stalled in some way. But there is a procedure that has to occur that, will end in you getting what you want. I feel like you're given the thumbs up. Everything moves forward as planned. So I definitely see here there's nothing to worry about. For some of you, if you're currently out of work, you're currently looking for a role, you may have been trying everything that you could, and the job market has been very oversaturated right now. And a lot of you, because we do have the Justice energy, which are adjustments and connect to the ether, some of you may be worried about automation, taking, jobs and automation and sort of like AI and things like that. And I feel a lot of you could be looking at the alternative options for you at this time. I definitely see if you're looking for a job, I see a new role coming in, and I feel like you're really eager to get this role because it feels like you're learning as you go, but at the same time you're earning. I feel there's a lot of opportunity to really flourish in this job or this opportunity. Page of Pentacles indicates something is offered to you that is the start of good fortune. So you will increase in finances through bonuses or commission or just in like the necessary steps to really kind of like get more money. So If you start a role, it could be that there is a starting salary, and once you finish a probation period, you will increase or staircase your finances. So I definitely see that's happening. But a lot of you could be thinking about something on the internet, perhaps speaking your truth. The first house can be that you're thinking about your journey. It can be that you have something to say about your experiences, your legacy. And because you have so many cards connected to the ether, I would say the internet works really well for you in Gemini season. So I would say this is a great time to launch a podcast or be online in some way, maybe even promote your business if you have a business. Some of you may even branch out or try something new because there's a lot of duality in your cards. And I definitely see here you are sitting on an idea or sitting on something that is within you, as it were, that you can offer, because you have a lot to offer life and your experiences. And I feel that you're someone who is applying yourself in some way to gain more. So I feel, financial security is something that you're working hard to obtain during this month. And I feel like you're going to build upon that and you're going to be really proud of yourself there as well. Now it says here, ambition, desire, and diligence. You're working really hard. It's almost like slow and steady wins the race for you. And I definitely see a win. The page indicates news. So I would say also financial news. Some of you could get a rebate this month or some sort of small increase in finances, or be told about a new opportunity that comes in that could build your wealth there. But a lot of you are thinking about setting up your own business or, being a creative where you can actually identify a certain niche and, pull opportunities for more money to come on in. And because your sixth house of reorganization within the home space is there as well, some of you may even sell, pre-loved goods online so that you can get more money in your pocket as well as declutter your home space. The Justice card on either side says it's a win-win. So a lot of you are seeing some good karma coming back around towards you as well for something that you are really strong and move forward on there as well. I mean, it literally means justice shall be done. Now we also have the Six of Pentacles, okay? It says here charity, it says generosity and sharing. And some of you, there is this energy that you may be noticing either friendships or relationships recently where they've been a little bit out of sync, okay? I feel like there's one person or maybe even two people here where you've been feeling the dynamic has shifted. And a lot of you may have adjusted your approach to this person or this situation or these people, and you're going to watch things readjust. So if you've been giving constantly to a situation and you feel that people have been taking continuously your energy, time, or taking advantage of you in some way, I feel this Eight of Swords is to close yourself off in some way and say, look, I'm going to step away just to see who hears your silence or who will step up. And actually, I see here that you will I feel there's one person who really notices and steps up. The other person, I feel like they're a little bit oblivious, okay? But I do see things will come back to balance in time. But there's one person I feel they're really dealing with something they're not talking about, and they may come towards you and notice your step back, and they want to talk about it. They want to find a solution, but they also want to reveal that they've been going through something behind the scenes that, was very private. And I feel there may be a coming together, an understanding in that conversation that kind of reinforces the friendship. And eventually the other person, because I feel like there is three of you, okay, that's what's coming through here. May not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor what I can feel and see in the water right now. But I feel the third person, they kind of step up a little bit later on. And I feel like you may call them out on it. And actually, I feel this person will offer you an apology. More than anything, not an excuse. This person will offer an apology and correct their behavior, and everything comes back into a balance. But it took you stepping away from this before, things readjusted or realigned. Now, there is some surprise financial news coming in here for you because the page, of course, delivers news, and the Six of Pentacles indicates this is a surprise. So I definitely see here, because you have the Six of Pentacles, which is all about good karma, you have the Justice card twice, I would say this is a month where, you know, all that wonderful energy you've been giving out, all of that focus and drive on your projects, your motivation, I feel there are rewards, and some of them may actually surprise you. There's a celebration here as well. I mean, some of you may also even do some charitable work this month, but the star energy indicates that, you know, you will be seen, you will be appreciated in all your glory. A lot of you are in the spotlight for some sort of success, something that you feel when it is delivered that it was hard won, that you're like, yeah, I deserve this because I worked hard for it. You're self-made. You did this all by yourself. But sometimes, you know, we can work really hard in life and never have the payoff. And I feel this is a month where things correct in its balance. Now, this is a very cathartic card as well. So not only are you going to get a wish delivered for you, but I feel there is an alignment here. And I also feel that this is about you healing from something. For some of you, you could be getting over something, or, you know, kind of recognizing something from your past taught you a lesson so that you do not repeat it. And sometimes, you know, we get lessons that we don't ask for, and they can be very challenging. But I feel a lot of you will recognize that it shaped who you are, but you do not want it to impede your future happiness because of that Eight of Swords there. You're releasing yourself from something. And, you know, the star energy also indicates that you're noticing that you are unique and that you actually stand out from the crowd. And I feel this is about you being more sociable at the end of the month and really standing in your light, as it were, because of course we're moving into your birthday season. But I feel, you know, the end of the month, it seems to be all about you. So your nearest and dearest, I definitely see a gift being sent to you. And I'm seeing two gifts, actually. One is sent to you and you're not sure who the sender is. And you have an inkling, but you'll have to approach this person and say, hey, did you send me a gift? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, oh, wonderful. It didn't have their name on it. But I feel you just know this person so well that you kind of like have a hint or an intuition that it was them. And then I also see a gift from a person that you really care about, but it's impromptu and it takes you by surprise. And it's a wonderful gift there as well. Now, this could be from, you know, a family member, it could be from your partner, it could be from a neighbor, it could be from someone at work, for example, or even in your neighborhood, in your community. But we have the Justice card. It says truth, fairness, and clarity. And I feel like you're owning your truth and things will be fair for you this month. But also, I feel this is about you having to make a decision, because the Justice card can indicate that you have a big decision to make. And perhaps a lot of you are investigating or strategizing before you make that decision. The Eight of Swords indicates that you're afraid to make a wrong move and you may feel locked in indecision. Like if you choose one way, you may have to sacrifice something else, because there's a hangman there, which means one decision means you have to sacrifice something. But I feel because you have the Justice card, there is an energy here of compromising where you don't sacrifice, okay? Because the hangman is in the resistance position, which means you won't have to sacrifice something. It means you can have it all. So if you're having to choose between two things, of course, it's always important to follow your heart, okay? Have the courage of your convictions to follow your desires, and the universe will support that, and it's the best outcome. You know, I don't see that you have to compromise here. And finally, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Now, structure and routine is going to work really well for you, because I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of multitasking this month. And of course, 8 is the number of the self. 8 is learning about what you're capable of, but it also means that you're committed to something and you're a pro at it, okay? The more we repeat something, the better we get at it. We hone our skills, our gifts, and our talents. And I feel like you are someone who is really awesome at what you do. And I feel also a lot of you could be feeling a little bit stuck in a rut or stuck in a routine. And whilst you acknowledge that structure is great, there is a desire for something new. So this could be that you want new education, or you want to learn something new, or take up a new hobby during this month. Or some of you want to do something just different to break the norm this month, because as I mentioned, you know, it's not that you feel disassociated. I feel a lot of you just feel like on the treadmill of life right now, and you want to kick back, relax, and do something a little bit different at this time. And June is a month where you really explore all your options there. And it says diligence, passion, and high standards. So, you know, you're holding people to account, but you're also holding yourself to higher standards there, especially because Saturn is in the mix. But 8 is the number of the self. So a lot of you are locked onto your sense of purpose, doing things that are right for you, honoring your time. And I would also say finding the purpose in the pause, because there's always something to be learnt when there is a delay in something. Sometimes the universe says, okay, it's not never, it's just not now. There has to be divine alignment, and something that you've been waiting for quite some time. I feel like it's coming in for you, and you'll celebrate that. But you have to work hard for it or chase it. Some of you may have to chase something or call customer services on something this month. And I feel there is a compensation point for that as well. We have an unlikely source. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What else do they need to know? Commitment. Yeah, this is the month to commit to your endeavors, to stay locked onto your course. You know, I feel it will pay off there. And sometimes, you know, an 8 of Swords can be a restriction that limits distraction. So it doesn't have to mean that you are stuck in a rut. It can mean that you are actually deciding to cut yourself off from any distractions at this time, because there's something important that you need to focus on. You know, the Justice card can be this level of importance. There's something that's so important for you this month that you're like, okay, I want to go out there and have fun. I will find balance, but I got to do this thing first. There's something that you need to do here for you or for your family that's important, like a duty or a responsibility. And then you can come out to play. Then you can shine your light. Then you can have a pause or a break. I mean, a lot of you are in a flurry of activity to get everything done, all your projects finished, everything on your to-do list, so you can take a pause, so you can go on a vacation, and you're going to have a wonderful time indeed there. Some of you may even see a shooting star, is what my guides gave me. Make a wish, because that wish, it will be delivered, is what I'm being given. So we have unlikely source. So new information coming in, maybe even from an unlikely source. But it says here, wonderful things can happen in everything around you, even from some of the most unexpected sources. And I did say there's some unexpected news here, or a lot of it is connected to finances, but it could be connected to the body because it's an earth energy with that pentacles. For some of you, it could be connected to, you know, a child or someone around you. You know, it's unexpected, but it's positive. Looking at the outcome energy, it is very positive. And a lot of you, with that 6 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles, it means there's a small increase in your savings or finances, or you're working really hard for the money that you're making right now, but you're making an impact on your savings pot in the month of June there. This could be that you get to save a little bit more than you expected, or, as I mentioned, a small increase, maybe even a tax rebate or a royalty or something from your past comes in to benefit you in your present. So it says unexpected and unconsidered. And you do have a nice little plot twist or surprise there. The energy supports it. Now we do have commitment. I mean, looking at the energy, some of you may be getting married this month because we have contract cards there with the Justice card. So this can indicate, you know, two people who are very independent. They have been learning to heal their wounds, and they come together and they are committing to each other. So congratulations if that's you. You're going to have a wonderful time. Could be a small delay in some sort of, what is that? Thank you so much, I'm truly grateful. I'm just being given, there could be a small delay in an invoice for that will be paid, but that's like, you know, that's something very small. It won't influence anything negatively at all there. What else am I seeing? This could be a contract for a new business as well. It doesn't have to be getting married. It could be some of you are looking at your commitments, maybe your financial commitments as well. A lot of you could be cutting off any direct debits on subscriptions that you don't utilize anymore, because I feel a lot of you in that 6th house, you're being practical, and you have a lot of practical cards here, okay? You start to get up in your emotions a little bit more, and things are more sort of sociable and playful at the end of June for you. So it says here, commit to this next stage in your development, and there will be a promise fulfilled in some form. It's right there. I can see it. It's happening for you. Long-term, determined, and you're all in. I mean, to have so many 8s, you've got 888. That is literally the number of wealth, but it's also the number of success, fulfillment, structure, and stability. So, and good luck as well, my guides just said. So I would say look for 888 a lot this month. You're going to see it everywhere as a numerical synchronicity. And finally, we have wide open. Okay, really interesting because the Eight of Swords is to be closed. But as you leave June, you're wide open. Open to receive, and opportunities, portals are opening for you there as well. It says the path before you is clear. Your desires and intentions are supported by the universe. No blocks. Open path, yes. So this is a really positive month for you, setting yourself free from something. I mean, some of you could actually, cut something out of your diet in order to detoxify because of that star energy as well. I think I mentioned that, and it just makes you feel a little bit lighter and brighter as well there, having a bit of a glow up. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Ooh, look at that. We have Life Ring. So some of you are definitely committing to a person. If you're already in a high-level commitment, you could even talk about renewing your vows. Some of you may be going overseas or going by water because this is, a life ring that you would find by the sea or by the ocean in some form. Some of you may have a yearning to be by the sea because of you being a water element. But also this can be that, financially you're staying afloat during these volatile economic times that we're in. Also, with that Six of Pentacles, you may give someone some good advice or give them a helping hand. Someone may offer to help you in something as well, but perhaps someone may come towards you to borrow money. This could be in a family setting or even in a friendship. Because there's two contract cards there, it's important that if this person is going to pay you back, perhaps get a contract, because you don't want to lose a friendship over something like that, okay? Especially if someone is struggling at this moment in time, give a really realistic time to have that paid back if you're offering to help somebody. But also we have you hitting your targets. That arrow is hitting a target. This is really connected to that Mars energy. This is about you staying on top of your goals and basically aiming for something, and it's bringing a lot of security. It's like, some of you, if you're looking for a home, for example, it could be that you're going to find your forever home, because that life ring indicates something is stable, secure, it's for life. It could be that you're finding a role or a job in an opportunity, a career that will be for life, that brings stability. You're committed to it. If you're launching your own business, it could be that it's a full-time commitment, but it will lead to better financial yields, dividends, rewards there. So whatever it is, I feel like you're committing, you're all into something, and you're going to see the payoff. And there's a lot of success there too. And of course, more importantly, more happiness and fulfillment on the other side of that as well. So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Cancerians. I hope something resonates in this reading for you. Thank you so much, and love and light.